You can now connect ChatGPT to Photoshop. Welcome, my name is Rosh, the co-host of the Creative AI Show, where we are two creative guys talking AI. And in this video, we're talking about how we can connect ChatGPT to Photoshop for free and how to use it properly. It can get a little confusing. To connect Photoshop to ChatGPT, we simply go here to the plus button. Click there, go down to More, and add sources. From here, you'll see the opportunity to add other tools, and you can connect those if you find them valuable. Connect more, there's a much larger suite of tools that are really valuable, including 3 new Adobe options, which does include Photoshop. Click Connect. Connect. And there you are. From here, you can upload a photo to work on. Click Add Photo. It's uploading. Now, when you click on the plus, go to More, you'll see Photoshop already ready to go. Click on Photoshop. Ask Photoshop and ChatGPT to do some very basic adjustments. Now, one nice thing about this is we can go directly into Photoshop if we have to do more adjustments than what is currently available on ChatGPT. Right now, the very basics are there. You can ask ChatGPT what Photoshop adjustments are available. Sometimes it gives you an expanded list that doesn't really apply. That's at least what I found right now, but that list is growing. So it's good to test it out, ask, and try a few things before you go into Photoshop. But it is nice to have the Photoshop option, because going back and forth with the AI, adjust this, adjust that through text, can be daunting. It can take a while. And the thing is, when you ask for adjustments through chat, sometimes it will actually change the image in the process. And that's the advantage of having Photoshop or working directly with Photoshop in ChatGPT, is because you can make those adjustments without changing, as we know the AIs will often do, to your original image. So let's start off with something simple. Lighten the background of this image. Make sure you can see the Photoshop here. Click. Here's our original image. Now it's analyzing the image, and it's going to take a few moments. Again, another advantage to having the Photoshop in the system is that we can make those adjustments without having to wait all the time it takes for ChatGPT to produce a new image. Here we go. Here's the current brightness and contrast and exposure options. And what we see here is we have 3 options. It told us what we have. And these are different tools that we can use. Now we can just download it if we see that this is what we want. But if you want to work on the image more, you can simply click on it. And here you have the brightness and contrast tool. So this is a little brighter, add a little more contrast, up to us. Now, if we want to do more on this, well, then we're going to have to stay in this open area. Now, we can go directly to Photoshop by clicking on this blue Photoshop button, which I'll show you in a few moments. Right now, to stay here and not have any more changes to the background or adjustments, we can simply say, change the dress to green. And as we can see at the top, it says at Photoshop, which makes a big difference, because if you open it up and you don't see anything related to Photoshop or says Photoshop, all you have is the image open without the tools that you need. And this can easily happen. It can get confusing if you're not used to it. And it would not change the dress. Now, let's go back. It actually gave me a message that it can't do that. So let's go back. This is the message I received. And again, I am finding this a lot. There are a number of situations where we just have very simple requests that don't seem to work. Now, you have a few options. So if Photoshop is unable to make the adjustments that you want, you can certainly go directly to Photoshop. Ready to open? If you have an account, which I do, it'll sign you in. Now this is Photoshop Online. This isn't the one you download. So what do I want to do here? I wanted to change this green. So you can grab the lasso tool, or how convenient is this? Click there and it's highlighted. Now I can go to the adjustments. Say hue and saturation is a good one. And take it over to green. There we go. With the mask. How convenient is that? Now this is not a Photoshop tutorial, but it is helpful to see that there are a number of the standard Photoshop tools that you may be used to if you are used to using Photoshop as part of your workflow. So looking at it, it's something that's very familiar with people who use Photoshop. Now, if we want to make more adjustments, we can download it. Back to ChatGPT, we can get out of this, and we can upload that image again. When you upload your image, you can click again on the plus, more, and go right to Photoshop. Now, ChatGPT knows once again you want to use Photoshop. If you don't see it there, it's not going to work in the Photoshop fashion. What it can't do right now is healing, so it's only basic adjustments. So let's say we want to add saturation. Go. We can see the Photoshop. And here we go. It's giving us options, saturation and vibrance. These are two different tools. Click here and we can control the saturation. Go to the other one. This is vibrance. They're similar, but not the same. I want to quickly show you an example I created earlier. This is the original image that I created. And as you can see, the sign isn't there. I actually asked ChatGPT to add the sign. And there it is. But what happened? Well, as you can see, the background changed a little bit. A little softness. Is it a big change? Not necessarily. But you can see there's some details here that have changed. You can see the contrast change. And the reason we like to have Photoshop connected like this is because we don't want those subtle changes. We want to work with the image that we created as it is and not have interpretations or fixes along the way. We want to be very specific about our sometimes minor or major changes. When you see this icon here, we now have the option to go over an area and I can say remove sign. It's important to note we do not see anything about Photoshop, so this is not a Photoshop action. Click. Here it is, and now there's a motion blur. Now, to be fair, I mentioned something about doing motion blur before, but it said, oh, I can't do that. Okay, great. So now we know that. And now it did a motion blur in the background and removed the sign and made other adjustments. This is where it was before and before that. So as you can see, there are adjustments along the way. If I want to make adjustments in Photoshop, well, I can't necessarily share. I can share, but that's not going to help me. So I'm going to have to download it again. And this is the case each time you create images within ChatGPT, at least right now. Now, if you've discovered something different or I am missing something, which is possible, let me know in the comments below and let people know how to start working on this image specifically in Photoshop, which again, I don't see that option. So we'll add it again. So I downloaded this version and I'm re-uploading it. And once again, to go into Photoshop, we have to hit the plus button, More, and Photoshop. Now, everything I request will be done in Photoshop. So let's ask, what effects can we use? So what effects are available in ChatGPT Photoshop? So here they are, Photoshop, all the effects available in ChatGPT's Photoshop panel. These are the exact effects you can apply with the Apply Effects tool. And feel free to pause and reverse to see them all. 18 of them here listed. Let's do duotone. Let's see if we need to upload it again. A red to the image. Let's see if we need that photo in there. And here it is. And as you can see, it is the Photoshop image. It's not the ChatGPT image generator working. It is actually Photoshop along with the ChatGPT image generator. And to make adjustments, again, look right here. And you can see the shadow, the highlight. We could switch those around possibly. Let's click on shadow. Yeah, so we could change those different elements. There we go. And the highlight, let's say we want it to be yellow. Very good. And then the amount of contrast and midpoint. Very good. Now, if we want more adjustments, we would work within this panel. It's much easier to do that. I find it less confusing. It also confirms that we are in Photoshop. Again, I wasn't sure it was actually going to continue that process before, but because sometimes it did not, although I had been working with Photoshop. But you need to make sure you see the Photoshop symbol in the chat and work from there. Now, let's say we want to get rid of this area, maybe smooth it out. Well, we're going to have to go into Photoshop in that situation because the healing type tools are not available, at least right now, in the ChatGPT Photoshop. So we'll go there and test this out. It's creating a new link, ready to open. And we'll go to the healing brush. So let's try to make an adjustment here. We can use the healing brushes. We can use the remove spot heal. Let's use this spot heal. I'm using the bracket keys to make the brush bigger and smaller. I can go here. Let's see if this works. Not bad. You're going to have to play with it a little bit. But as you can see, once again, these tools are here to do the finite work that you may need done or the detail work you may need done that's not currently available in the ChatGPT connection. And again, you can download right here. If you have more thoughts or if you've experimented some more with Photoshop and ChatGPT, feel free to share your experience and maybe some tools that you discovered that we didn't talk about here, because it is Photoshop. There's a lot you can do with it, a lot of different ways you can approach ChatGPT and Photoshop. It is a very helpful and long anticipated tool that I'm happy that connection is there. And I'm looking forward to using it more and more. I actually am using the AIs more with my photography, and it's really offering some amazing results, to be quite honest. If you want to hear more about AI for the creative, check into the Creative AI Show every Monday on this YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast location, where we are two creative guys talking AI. I'll see you in the next video.